7 massive standalone primetime games, a brutal Thanksgiving war in Detroit, and an absolute bloodbath against the Packers on Christmas Day. The completely leaked 2026 Chicago Bears schedule is finally here, and it is the most chaotic, star-studded gauntlet we have seen in a very long time. If you want the most passionate, hard-hitting Bears coverage on the internet every single day, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe right now. Looking at this incredibly dramatic slate of games, you have to ask yourself, are we looking at a legitimate, battle-tested Super Bowl contender, or is the NFL deliberately trying to break this roster with the brightest national spotlight imaginable? Let us break down this unbelievable schedule week by week, because the league has truly thrown everything at us this season. We are kicking things off in Week 1 with a trip down to Carolina to face the Panthers. The NFL could have sent us to Seattle to open the year, but they wanted the absolute drama of a Super Bowl rematch. This is going to be the marquee noon game for Fox, and you already know the broadcast is going to be hyper-focused on the historic trade Ryan Poles pulled off. We are talking about 2 former number 1 overall picks going head-to-head. Bryce Young on one side, and our franchise savior Caleb Williams on the other. Carolina was a playoff team last year, so this is absolutely not a layup, but it is a highly winnable road game to set the tone for the entire season. Then, we get to march back to Soldier Field for the home opener in Week 2 against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I am not thrilled about facing Brian Flores and his confusing defensive schemes this early in the year, but at least we will have one game of film to study. We need to see exactly what Kevin O'Connell is doing with Kyler Murray and J. McCarthy in that system. These divisional home openers are always tightly contested, blood pressure-raising matchups, but with 9 of our final 16 games at home, we have to protect our turf immediately. Week 3 is where the absolute madness begins. Monday Night Football. Soldier Field. The Philadelphia Eagles are coming to town. Just think back to Black Friday a year ago when we physically overwhelmed this team. You can guarantee they have had this game circled on their calendars. The lakefront is going to be rocking under those late September ESPN lights for a heavyweight clash between 2 teams that won 11 games last season. We wrap up the first month in Week 4 with what might look like the easiest game on paper, but do not be fooled. Aaron Glenn is bringing the New York Jets to Chicago. After a grueling, incredibly physical Monday night war against the Eagles, this has trap game written all over it. We simply cannot afford to lose to the Jets in our own building. It is a mandatory win before the schedule turns into an absolute nightmare. Week 5 takes us into hostile territory. We are heading up to Lambeau Field to face the Green Bay Packers for a late afternoon kick. This is going to be the classic America's game of the week. We are going to have Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady in the booth, calling yet another historic chapter of this rivalry. The memory of Caleb Williams getting picked off in the end zone to finish the game in Green Bay last year still burns, so the revenge factor is going to be off the charts. We need to go up there and take this one by force. Week 6 gives us a slightly more manageable road trip down to Atlanta. The Falcons are rolling with Tua Tagovailoa and Michael Penix Jr., and frankly, either of those guys strikes fear into my heart. Atlanta is stuck in a weird transition year right now. The NFC South is a notoriously weak division, so they might hang around in the standings. But this is a highly gettable game on the road that we absolutely must steal. Then, buckle up, because the turnaround is vicious. Week 7 brings the AFC champion New England Patriots to Soldier Field for Thursday Night Football. The league heard Amazon loud and clear when they demanded premium matchups for their billion-dollar investment, and Diana Rossini and the whole crew are going to be watching a spectacular quarterback duel. Drake May versus Caleb Williams under the primetime lights. I am already counting down the seconds to this one. Week 8, we are right back in the national spotlight for Monday Night Football, traveling to the incredibly loud environment of Seattle to face the Seahawks. Going out west is always a headache, and I wish we had drawn them in Week 1, but having that extra rest from the Thursday night game the week prior is going to be a massive advantage for our coaching staff. Week 9 keeps the primetime streak alive. Sunday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Soldier Field. That makes 3 consecutive standalone, nationally televised games. The league knows we are the main attraction. I am personally down on Tampa Bay this year. Baker Mayfield is capable if he finds his rhythm, and Reuben Bain was a solid draft addition, but Todd Bowles is sitting squarely on the hot seat. By the middle of the season, that defense could be completely unraveling. We finally hit our bye in Week 10, which is placed perfectly in the dead center of the season. Here is my question of the day for you guys, and I need you to drop your answers in the comments below right now. Out of our massive 7 primetime games this season, how many are we actually going to win? Let me know your exact primetime record prediction down in the comments. Coming off the bye in Week 11, we welcome the New Orleans Saints to Chicago. Getting a Southern Dome team outdoors in mid-November is exactly what you want to see on a schedule. The Saints are a complete wildcard. Tyler Shaw showed some flashes late last year, but their defense, now run by former Bears coach Brandon Staley, is just serviceable. This is a game we have to dominate. Then comes Week 12. Thanksgiving Day. We are heading up to Detroit to face the Lions. Let us be painfully honest here, this is going to be a nightmare. Detroit is terrifying inside their dome. They are built purely on blinding speed and elite change of direction. Jared Goff operates like a machine indoors, and trying to chase down Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jameson Williams on that fast track is exhausting. They dropped 50 points on our heads the last time we played in their building. We have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Week 13, the Jacksonville Jaguars come to Soldier Field. There is a massive debate right now about whether the Jags are actual contenders or if their 13-win season last year was a complete fluke. Regardless, forcing another Southern team to play in the brutal Chicago cold in December is a massive tactical advantage for us. Week 14 provides a beautiful change of scenery. We fly down to Miami to play the Dolphins. The absolute worst time to play Miami is in the blistering September heat. Drawing them in December, in a comfortable 80-degree climate, while they are actively tearing down their roster in a rebuild, is a gift from the football gods. By this point in the year, they might be in complete tank mode. It is a mandatory road victory. Week 15 is where boys become men. Saturday Night Football in Buffalo against the Bills. We will be coming off a short week to face Josh Allen and newly elevated head coach Joe Brady in their brand new stadium. Imagine the scene, late December, under the lights, massive playoff implications on the line, and snow aggressively dumping from the sky. It is going to be absolute cinematic poetry. Speaking of cinema, Week 16 is the game everyone is already fighting about. Christmas Day. High noon. Soldier Field. We are hosting the Green Bay Packers on Netflix to kick off the global holiday doubleheader. Get your anger ready, folks. I do not care what you are eating for Christmas dinner, but it better involve absolutely destroying some cheese. Netflix begged the NFL for this exact rivalry on Christmas, and we have to send the Packers packing with ruined holidays. Week 17, we stay home to host the Detroit Lions. Everything we feared about Detroit on Thanksgiving flips in our favor here. We get Jared Goff outside in the freezing, biting wind of Chicago late in the year. He has improved his outdoor reputation slightly, but he is still a completely different, immobile quarterback when he leaves the comfort of his dome. We lost a tight 19-16 defensive battle against them at home last year. We need to secure the split this time around. Finally, Week 18. We close out the regular season on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. The stakes could not be higher. We have no idea if Kyler Murray or J.J. McCarthy will be taking the snaps by then, but even with horrific quarterback play last season, Minnesota managed to scrape together 9 wins. Brian Flores will have that defense fighting for their lives in a divisional closer. It is going to be a brutal, physical end to a completely relentless season. This League 2026 schedule is an absolute monster, but if there is any team built to survive this gauntlet, it is the Chicago Bears. Bear down.